Welcome back to Prospect Channels TV. My people, we don't come back with another Ubonga update. Right now, I want to talk about all the trending things in Nigeria. This issue of Fulani herdsmen, bandits, Boko Haram attacking innocent Nigerians. Why the government looked the other way. This time around, Nigerians are now saying enough is enough. If they are going to take the laws into their hands so that they will live, so be it. How can you sit down in your home, somebody will invade your house, take your life from you, and you don't have the right, to attack back? So Nigerians are saying this will not happen again. So the ESN, they have done wonder. I don't want to talk much about it. I want you to, watch this video. I'm going to drop this video and hear what this our brother have to say, what he has brought, the reason why these people so much hate Indigo, because they know that they can't cross. If you cross, you go collect woto. You understand? If you cross, you go collect woto. They understand that fact. So right now, the ESN are saying enough is enough. Even if we are trying to push, the Southeast governors are suppressing us, but we cannot still keep quiet and watch our people perish. Look at what happened the other day again in the Bãñdïts state. If you watch that video, you go cry for Nigeria. It seems that Nigeria is now no man's land. Anything cannot go in and out. You get why the politicians are busy strategizing for 2027. Now that one you go tell no say there is no hope again for this country. So guys, make we watch this video. I will be right back. But before then, I beg, if today be your first time when you did discover our channel, please subscribe. Share this video, make it go viral. Kudos to ESN. I beg, share this video. Share this video. This video must go viral so that our people will understand waiting they happen. And before I go, I want to let us understand that Nigeria is no longer a safe place. You have to be very careful where you they go, how you they waka, and what time you take the enter your house. Nowhere is safe. These people, they have surrendered everywhere you get. Okay, let's get there. I'll be right back.
In Nigeria has become a warfare, as we continuously hear that the clash between them and Nigeria youth. We hear one at Delta State in Abraka area, and the new one is about the one that happened in Benue and Enugu, where the youth clash with the S-men. What do you think is really going on? This S-men is like they really mean business.
Yes, they really mean business because it was they suspected a massive movement of Fulani towards the Enugu-Benue boundaries, particularly somewhere in Apa, issues, and one other community too, and immediately the Benue youth elected the Enugu youth, and there was this joint alliance, and they moved towards that particular boundary between Benue and Enugu state. And from what we are gathering, it was a massive, direct engagement, direct attack, no retreat, no surrender, according to those youth. From the report we are getting from that environment, there was massive, crunch on Fulani herdsmen there, Boko Haram herdsmen, from the news we are getting from there. I think we are still waiting for the Benue governor, Alias or wherever, to make a statement towards that successful, reprisal attack, or to chase Fulani herdsmen completely from that community. And we are still waiting to hear from the governor of the Enugu state on that successive, launching of massive attack on these Boko Haram bandits, within those Enugu state boundaries, particularly somewhere along a place called Apa. It was massive. I said the forest is on fire now. As I speak to you, the entire community, youth, the Benue community youth, they are saying enough is enough, they can now come out and defend themselves. We saw what is happening, around the issue of Fulani herdsmen. It is becoming a life-threatening extermination of indigenous people in their respective communities. And I learned, that that assault was led by one of the Boko Haram kingpin, one of the bandits Nigerians are looking for, and nobody knows whether he actually died in that attack because they said after that attack, they are going to have a full presence in those boundaries and Enugu. But thank God they never waited for the Nigerian army, they never waited for Nigerian police, they never waited for any government. The alliance, of Enugu and Benue youth was something to be celebrated. According to the report, in fact, the Boko Haram, all of them currently on the run because everything that has to do with their camps, their sites, their network, was totally eliminated, burnt by these angry youth who can no longer tolerate the continuous killing of their people seamlessly.
And what do you think is lead to this successful reprisal attack? I mean, how do you think these people, these youth, they were able to repel the attack of Fulani? Have they heard that they are coming, then they fortify themselves, or they have been always prepared? What do you think is lead to this successful?
I think from what we gathered that 50% of this youthful alliance with Benue and Enugu youth.
Okay.
The other 50 are just youths who have deep reservation and who are ready to defend their community. The other one is mostly hunters, who would have alerted these youths, on what the build-up, to that invasion in the Enugu-Benue boundary, and that was how they quickly, mobilized themselves and lay a proper ambush. I doubt whether that man because it was a successful ambush, and the bandits, the Boko Haram jihadists within that boundary, who are trying to see how they are going to invade Enugu. You know that a few months ago they threatened Enugu, they also threatened Port Harcourt, and that they are coming to Port Harcourt, and Enugu, and I think that was the beginning of their of that mission from that particular sect, jihadists, but they met their death, because of the bravery of those youths.
How brave is this Fulani to the extent that they will even be telling you that we are coming? But unfortunately, as they promised, Nigerian army will not be able to prepare for them, and they will come out, carry their operation successfully, and go back to where they are coming from. The way it's happened at Yelchiwa, what do you think is happened at Yelchiwa? Why they cannot repel the attack? And people of Benue, that particular community in Benue and Enugu, they were successfully, repelled the attack.
Yes, if you look at the distance in Yelchiwa, and where that's being reported within the boundaries of Idoma, Eziago, our community, and other community, upper community, and all that, you see they have common boundaries, with the people of Enugu. It's just like Ogun State and Idiroko or Deraba. Let me just put it that way, and Benin Republic. Those communities were close to those boundaries. They have similar boundaries. That was what the nature of that place. But let me give you an insight. That the Nigerian army, the DSS, the Nigerian army was told about this invasion in Yeletiwa in Benue State. Yes, they got the information. If an ordinary citizen can get access to kind of information that in so and so day, the Fulani, the bandits are coming, they are going to attack, and the message was passed to the authorities, and they couldn't do anything until over 270 million people were killed in Yeletiwa. So what does the excess of asking them or telling them, even if they know, maybe they will pretend as if they've not had, because the real thing, they are looking for the real thing. And what is the real thing? These are something we are talking about, that Nigeria, is falling into the hands of, Islam, jihadist, movement. And you can see what the Northern elders are saying recently, that the jihadists have overpowered Nigerian military. Waiting for what else is expected from them. What they are trying to tell people now is that, defend yourself. So, in quick response, and this has been happening within those boundaries and all that. But this one, we are coming, was well organized. They have targeted what they want to do at the end of the day, and unfortunately, they didn't know that they will be taught such a big lesson in APA and local government here I think they have attacked that Amoku area before or something. If I can.
Okay, the place has been attacked before.
Yes.
So they now prepare.
Yes. So this one, they were coming to even their foundation finally and claim that they have taken over that place. But unfortunately for them, it didn't work as they think. So it was a very big blow for them, and we are suspecting that that person would have been killed by the forces of those youths and hunters. We don't want to say whether ESN was actually involved in that operation, because it was well coordinated. They never expected it coming. They never saw it coming. There was massive surveillance and there was exchange of intelligence by these youths, and that was a very successful, onslaught against the Boko Haram.
You made mention of this Boko Haram that you just made mention, make me scared, because when you mention Boko Haram, you talk about the northeast alone. But when you now constantly mention Boko Haram attacking a place like Benue, between Benue and Enugu, have you been so encroached with the Boko Haram to that extent that they have a country to come and attack them in that place?
Yes, it's very clear. We can call them names, but they are factored into one agenda. Whether Boko Haram, Lakarawa, Jihadis, ICC, whatever, Bãñdïts, whatever you can call them. We have only one name for them. They are jihadis. They are offshoot of Boko Haram, and they are working towards one agenda. That is the truth. And what is the agenda? It is total conquest, and now they are having this friction, and the thing is spreading.
Like synergy.
Yes, people are running away from their communities in Benue. Like the man that was saying, he said they have knowledge of the invasion, and people have to leave. And most people, when they leave, they don't come back. And they knew that there's a massive exodus of Benue people to the Enugu, and they felt that, okay, we need to go there again and deal with them in Enugu there, even though the governor has Peter Mba, has not been able to prove anything, have not been able to say anything, even in Anambra State, we're seeing these governors, I don't know actually what is the problem, but I think to an extent, the hunters and the youth were able to align, join forces together. Powerful forces, though it has been speculated that ESN experts, operatives, might have been behind the operation, and it was well coordinated. I'm sure the news is all over the place now.
Before we go, it's like, is government protecting these people? Because there is one video that worries me. Nigerian armor tank was parked in the bush, and we saw some people with the jalabia. We cannot identify them, whether they are soldier, whether they are police, with the AK-47 across their neck. And we saw military officer coming out from that Nigeria, vehicle. People are wondering, what is the relationship between cat and mouse inside the house? What is happening?
You saw it, that's how funny Nigeria is. Because if it was to be IPOB members, they would have got them down. If we are to be Igbo people, they would have got them down. If to have been Yoruba youths, that are seeking for self-determination, they would have shot them. It tells you that the Nigerian military are tired. They are seeking for peace what you saw there, they went to go and beg them, not to stop killing them, killing the Nigerian army. That's what they went there to. You saw the kingpin there. It was not the Nigerian army was not able to arrest him. Instead, you can see the synergy, you can see the festive, you can see the begging, you can see the mabinu, you can see all the apology, you can see the weakness, the conquest of the military in that meeting. You can see the solid state of the Nigerian security.
So what else? So to the extent that it's like Nigeria Army is even working for them now. In a particular community in Edo State, Nigeria Army is taking over some community, claiming the land that it was Letoba that gave it to them. Now establishing camp for Fulani.
That is what it is, Those guys you are seeing was one of the reasons why the Ohanese leader and the late Ayo Adebanjo was insisting that there shouldn't be anything that has to do with the repentant Boko Haram in the Nigerian army. So those they flooded in the Nigerian army are those they deployed in the southern part of the country. Under the disguise, they are Nigerian military. And they are busy opening communities for the Fulani invasion. You can see the tragedy now. You can see the systematic, conquest. They are using the strategic military structures across the nation to achieve. So by the time the military go there and you see them in the military, they end up chasing those communities, especially those who are, standing against the jihadist attack, who are withstanding the forces of the enemy of the indigenous people. That is it. So you can see them, retaliating. Look at it's everywhere. Look at the one in Abraka. Look at the one they caught in somewhere. I think it should be in Imo State. Where they loaded thousands of Boko Haram inside one truck, seal it. They sealed it with key. You would think it is cement that is inside. But intelligence spread and ESN stepped into action and was able to stop the trailer. And when they unlock it, come and see thousands in their numbers.
When you are not animal, put somebody like a sardine inside trailer.
And the way they were asking
so
them,
dreaded.
They said they are foot soldiers. Foot soldiers, where are you heading to? That is what that Nigerian intelligence could not be able to solve. Nigerian intelligence does not know anything. But if it will be ordinary people on the street going about their business, you see them chasing them up and down. The police will be chasing people who are innocent up and down. But look at it.
Very, very
so
unfortunate.
The people have come to realize that they need to take their own destiny, and anybody that has to wear Nigerian military, whatever it is, will no longer be trusted in the eastern part of the country.
All right, my people, you've all heard it now. What's your take on this? What's your take? What do you think, we do? Drop a comment below the comment section. Share this video, as I said. Please subscribe. Thank you. May God bless you all. Bye for now.